All right. So I'm just getting my camera set up here. I want to talk about the psychological concept of baiting, which is basically when you act in a provocative way to get someone to either fight you or react to you in an emotional way, and how it relates to people with ADHD. Now, I'm not going to talk to talk about people with ADHD baiting people in this video. I want to talk about being on the receiving end, like being baited with someone with ADHD. Now, I don't need to define ADHD for you because pretty much everyone knows what it is right now, but I feel like most people don't know what baiting is. Now, when you bait someone, like I kind of hinted at earlier, you're acting in a hostile or sometimes even subtle way to get a response from them. So, for example, let's say someone knows that you're uncomfortable about your weight, like you've become overweight, and you've told them like you don't want to talk about it, or like you're working on your diet, and they just kind of keep on really commenting on your weight, and you've told them to stop it, and they keep on doing it because they feel a sense of control in getting that emotional reaction from you because they know that it bothers you. Now, I think, and this is just a theory, I think that people with ADHD are more susceptible to being baited, and that's due to a bunch of reasons. When you bait someone, the person being baited feels a need to prove themselves. You know, like let's say someone's trying to get you to fight them, and they're like, "Come on, motherfucker, fight me," you know, and you're just walking away, and they're like, "Oh, I knew you were a pussy," and like they're trying to get you to fight them because they want to fight. You don't. You want to walk away. You know, you want to go home and get on with your day, but they want to fight. And I think that if you have ADHD or Tourette's, in my case, you've always kind of felt the need to prove yourself because you've always kind of fell short of your goals, especially academically, like with me and many other people. So I think that may kind of put you at a disadvantage when you're being baited because you already have low self-esteem, right? So you're being put in a situation to kind of prove yourself, and if you prove yourself in that situation, you know, maybe it'll kind of make up for your past failures, you know. I know that doesn't make complete sense, but psychologically, I think people may kind of think that. So let me just kind of talk about context. I live in a big city, right, in America, and I find myself noticing really annoying things in my environment. And I'm going to come back to why that is later. So, like, let's say I'm going for a walk. You know, it could be a beautiful day, right? And I could be, you know, in a good mood, but all of a sudden, like, a loud car with, like, you know, really loud music and a muffler will kind of pass by me, you know, like a street racer car, right? And I'll be like really irritated, or something that really pisses me off. Oh my God. Is like when I'm waiting for the crosswalk sign to signal for me to walk, and then someone just like speeds up into the crosswalk and blocks my path. You know, like things, I don't react well to people acting obnoxiously. Like, I really don't. And I've come to learn that about myself the hard way, by finding myself in these situations and getting really upset to the point that I want to respond, or I want to say something like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But I don't want to start a fight with someone or be shot or stabbed. Like, we've all heard about the terrible things that happen when we confront people, especially in urban environments, right? So I've kind of really reflected on like why do certain behaviors bother me? And I think it's due to ADHD and being attracted to things that elicit a strong emotional response. You know, it's much harder to focus on reading like a book. Like, let's say you're reading like a calculus book, like for school. Like, it's dry, it's boring. I mean, which is easier to focus on? That or someone acting obnoxiously in a public environment? Like, it draws your attention. And I think people do this on purpose, especially toxic personalities. Not everyone who acts obnoxiously is doing it on purpose, but I think you would be surprised the amount of people that do it on purpose, because they know it gets a response, right? So I think that due to the lack of impulse control and maybe even the hyperactivity, with ADHD, you know, you could really find yourself find yourself in a bad situation that you don't want to be in because you lack the impulse control. So I just think everyone, whether or not you have ADHD or not, you shouldn't feel the need to prove yourself to strangers or anyone for that matter, because the person that's acting provocative towards you, I think that they have more to prove than you ever do, because like they're the one interacting with you. You're just going on with your business. So clearly they have a goal in mind when they're interacting with you, and that goal can oftentimes be to get you to engage with them, so you're fighting with them, right? We like just look up high conflict personalities, and I just feel like that'll encapsulate really what I'm talking about here. I don't want to go too long here. I want to end this video with one other thing that I find a lot of people do, which is staring. That's one of the most I see baiting a lot in the way people use eye contact. Whether you're on the train and you're just trying to mind your own business, and the person across from you is just staring into your soul because either they want attention from you due to narcissism, or they want to get a reaction from you to further their goal, which is to fight you or to rob you or to something like that, right? So if you have ADHD or autism or Tourette's, or you're on the spectrum that is neurodiversity, I want you to ask yourself, when you're out in public or you find yourself around someone that you think is baiting you, ask yourself what their goal is and what you have to gain from ignoring them. And usually the answer is there's more to gain from ignoring them than interacting with them.